Thanks for all coming for tonight. Wareham Zoning Board of Appeal for Wednesday, March 13, 2024. It is 6:32 p.m. and we are at room 320 Multi-Service Center, 48 Marion Road, Wareham, Mass. Zoom is open. I'm gonna call the meeting to order. I'll make a roll call. My left, Mr. Richard Semple. My far right, Mr. Troy Larson, our clerk, Jim Akabachi, myself, the chair, Nazi Akalasi. Also present, our town commissioner, Mr. Paul Turner, proposed town planner, Josh, no?
Josh Verdi, Planning Department. We'll leave it at that.
Okay. And we have department assistants on your proposal and everyone else here. Thank you for all coming. So I'm gonna start with the minutes for 2/24/2024.
I've read them, edited them, had them reprinted,
And you did
and
a
I'm
great
willing to
job.
sign them.
And you did a great job.
You read what I... Thank you. Okay, so for the minutes of February 28th, 2024, I make a motion to accept as presented.
I second.
Okay. Motion by Jim, second by Richard. All in favor, say aye. Troy?
Aye.
Here you go. Just for the record, Veronica Debonese also is here. Just came in. It's 6:35 p.m.
3:13.
Jim, on the motion? So we have Troy, yes. Troy is yes.
Oh, yes, sorry.
Richard?
Yes.
And myself, Nazi, yes.
Done. Now let's put these somewhere where Sonia can find them.
All right, we're gonna start with the continued public hearing. 21-23 McEwen for reconsideration 386 Main Street. All right. Public
Good
hearing.
evening.
Couple-
Attorney Jillian Morton.
Yes, public hearing still open.
Absolutely.
All right.
So how we left this last time is, it's a recommendation to speak to your town council in regards to the authority. I know the opposition said that you did not have authority. I did put together information that I did send to Attorney Bowen, as well as you guys. I don't know if you have that or read it. Putting together some case law, which I believe is significant. So last time, the opposition had said that there needs to be a substantial difference. The actual bylaw does not mention substantial. So it's specific material to what the unfavorable decision was. So in my case, you do have the authority to be able to reconsider this because there is a specific material change. So I don't know if you heard back from Attorney Bowen or if he's on tonight. Or if you thought about it.
I did hear from him, and we talked briefly, and he believed Section 16 prevailed. And I went did a lot of research myself, and I do understand substantial changes, specific material changes, one and the same. But however, I read your case. You had Romney versus Nantucket. And I went out to read Paquin versus Barnstable, Braley versus Tewksbury. All these cases come back and cite Section 16 as attorney, I forget, attorney, the neighbor's attorneys, Silverstein said. And all these cases, your case, the one you cite, Randy versus Nantucket, you're right, it was open, but it went through the process. It went to planning board. And the planning board said there is changes, or whatever you call it, specific material changes. And actually, the case was about a red house color. And they said, okay, they will reconsider. The only thing on the planning board consent, it's still vague. If the planning board would decide, it's still unclear, as Section 16 leaves it unclear whether the planning board function is simply to approve or send the reconsideration to zoning board. But I'm sorry for the previous attorney. I should have went and did all this research, but as things heated it up, I end up doing the research, and this is what I found. That attorney Silverstein was right. And he was right. It has to go to planning. Every case I read, and so was Mr. Bowen, agrees that Section 16 prevails. And as you notice, I mean, if you want, I'll read it. Section, you know what it says.
Yeah, I've included it. I
Right.
know exactly what it says.
And it says no changes without going to planning board.
Yeah, but this discussion, we started with talking about you're the special permit granting authority, so,
I know, but let's put it this way.
Well,
We
that's fine if
we
you want-
learn something every day, and we're not, like I said, we're not attorneys, and sometimes we just let it go until things
I'd
get
ask for a
very
motion
serious.
to refer it to the planning board tonight.
Yeah, absolutely. Actually, we could do that. We could do this. We could help you with
I'll
that.
submit materials to the planning board.
And we leave it open indefinite until you come back.
Okay.
All right. So, would somebody like to entertain a motion to give her a chance to go to planning board?
All right, so moved.
Okay, we have a motion by Jim for 21-23 for 386 Main Street to give the applicant chance to go and get approval, and they need supermajority. The planning board needs a supermajority to get, hopefully, like, their wishes come true, and they give them opportunity to resend the vote, whether they want to decide on it or resend it to us. Like I said, Ronnie versus, Paquin versus Barnstable, still
So just what are
unclear.
we asking the planning board to do?
This is the process. The planning board takes the material changes she's talking about. She says, okay, this is the material changes. We have easement, we change the looks of the building. And the planning board look at it, says, well, it is substantial change, it is a specific and material change. We are gonna allow the zoning board to
But I'm not sure.
reopen.
I want to ask, is that what you,
No, that's not what I believe is correct, and I haven't had a
so
chance.
she's not going to
The
go and say,
statute-
she's going to go and say,
No, I would go if that's what he's saying, but I'm reading the statute, and it talks about special permit granting authority, which our bylaw says that when we're doing a site plan review, you are the special permit
Correct,
granting authority.
correct.
So I have a difference in opinion, but if your town
Right.
council is telling you that,
so my point is, if I'm listening wrong, fine, but I don't want us to go off in the wrong direction either. I believe the attorney's going to say the significant change is that the right-of-way, the easement, is now owned one-third by us, and that was the basis on your nay votes.
Listen, let me make it easy for everybody. Jimmy, you're better at reading than me. It's small paragraph. Let him read section 1648, Mass General Session.
Okay.
Want to read it from beginning?
Read it out loud, you mean, to the
Yes,
to the
please.
room? No appeal, application, or petition which has been unfavorably and finally acted upon by the special permit granting or permit granting authority shall be acted favorably upon within 2 years after the date of final unfavorable action, unless said special permit granting authority or permit granting authority finds by a unanimous vote of a board of 3 members, or by a vote of 4 members of a board of 5 members, or 2/3 vote of a board of more than 5 members. Specific, comma, and the vote would be that specific and material changes in the conditions upon which the previous unfavorable action was based, and describe such changes in the record of its proceedings, and unless all but one of the members of the planning board consents to thereto, and after notice is given to parties in interest of the time and place of the proceedings, when the question of such consent will be considered. And they use the word planning board, but I think they mean permit granting authority.
Okay. No, it's.
And then it continues on, any petition for a variance or application for a special permit which has been transmitted to the permit granting authority or special permit granting authority may be withdrawn without prejudice by the petitioner prior to the publication of the notice of a public hearing thereon, but thereafter will be withdrawn without prejudice only with the approval of the special permit granting authority or permit granting authority.
Okay, and if you go back to the repetitive petition, and on this matter, on section C, on the planning board consent, and it says, an appellant or petitioner must first submit his appeal, application, or petition that has been unfavorably acted upon to the planning board, as it was noted by the court, Paquin versus Town of Barnstable, 27 Mass App CT 577, 1989. The language of Mass Law, Chapter 40A, Section 16 leaves it unclear whether a planning board function is simply to approve the reconsideration. So if you go by to them, this is unclear if they reapprove it or they come back to us. So it says simply to approve reconsideration by zoning board or to endorse favorable action, to reconsider by the zoning board or endorse a favorable action. It is the former which appears likely. The Board of Appeal could not even consider the merit of the repetitive petition until the planning board approve. And it goes on prohibition and reapplication on the purpose of the case. That's your case, Romney versus Nantucket. And it shows here like how many members and all this thing. And Attorney Bowen, like I said, he said Section 16 reveals, and Section 16, that's what it says. I'll ask the board what they think. Maybe they heard something different, or they have different opinion. Let's start by Troy. Troy.
Go ahead.
No, I'm good with what Attorney Bowen says.
Veronica.
I agree it needs review by the planning board as stated in the...
Jimmy.
Well, my feeling is that we asked for the town council's opinion. He's given it. Whatever decision we make, he has to defend or argue. I think if we asked for his opinion and then we don't, if you go to somebody and ask their advice and then you don't heed it, why did you ask them in the first place? So if Attorney Bowen says no, then it's, in my opinion,
Well,
it's no.
that's a good practice, but keep it clear that the zoning board don't have the privilege or the jurisdiction to say yes or no, even town attorney agrees or don't agree. But it's a good practice to listen to him if we go ask him.
If we didn't, yeah, we wanted his opinion, he gave it. If we're not gonna follow it, then why even bother? That's just my, that's...
Right, no, absolutely right, but I'm just saying on the procedure.
I'd like to see this resolved, but I don't want it to be, whatever decision to be overturned under a technicality. I'd rather make sure that it's done in the proper procedure. If the applicant has to withdraw or be denied and then come back with a new application with significant changes or by a different owner, there are ways that they can be back in front of us, but I don't think a reconsideration at this point is gonna work.
Richard?
I haven't heard anything, and I agree with Attorney Bowen.
Okay, in the public, anyone in favor of this matter or somebody like to comment? Anyone on Zoom? Anyone in the public? None? All right, that being said, I guess, she wants to
We make a
vote?
motion that we do not reconsider this,
We make a motion to keep this public hearing open until she goes get an answer, until the council goes get an answer for planning board.
if that's, you wanna go to,
Yeah.
then my prior motion
I think we
to-
should put a date to it. We can't just leave it open. Let's say,
We're a month out
what,
already.
let's,
So I would-
She's already,
Planning board's just
I'm
gonna
telling
take them
you.
in their next meeting?
she's moved it to the 27th of this month, so want to just, is that enough time?
is that, no, she's
No,
not.
because I'm gonna have to submit it. They're probably going to public, it's gonna be like 2 months.
Right,
I mean,
so
ask
let's
Mr.
go,
Bozo, but-
let's keep it open until May 22nd.
Okay.
You give us an extension until May 22nd.
Yep.
In the meantime, if you get an early response, you could ask Sonia to put you in the agenda, and we go from there.
Okay.
I mean, unfortunately, it turned
And
this
if
way for
anything,
you.
we, decide to withdraw and do a brand-new plan or something.
Well, like I
then
said-
we will let you know.
And again, you have to go through planning board with that, not to us.
Well, they can
It-
withdraw.
it's-
It's
a-
changed from what we've done, to be completely honest, and you know, it's never been that way. I mean,
Well, guess what? We were doing it wrong. I understand, totally understand, and if
granting authority.
if we talked about this a month ago, I would agree with you, but we were doing it wrong. I'm sorry, but all the laws here, it calls, no, like I said, no appeal.
Did Attorney
Or-
Bowen give a memo to you guys or anything like
Who?
that? It was just Attorney Bowen get
No,
a,
he talked to me personally. Yeah, or repetitive petition is very clear. I went out and get this
why is it
online.
saying special, well, we don't have to argue about it now.
Right.
I still think, it's something to look into.
Yeah, well,
'Cause it's been like this for 10,
maybe we'll
15
learn
years.
something new. All right, so we'll keep it open till 22nd. If you find
Okay.
something sooner, let Sonia
And
know.
you want to be referred to the planning board?
Right,
Yes, motion to refer to the planning board.
So, because I had started a motion,
Yeah.
let's restate it. That I move two things. One, to extend this meeting up until May 22nd, and in the interim, we refer this matter to the planning board.
okay, I have that motion by Jim. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second by Troy. All in favor, say aye. Troy?
Aye.
Veronica?
Aye.
Richard?
Aye.
Jim?
Aye.
Myself, Nazir, aye. Thank you.
Thank you.
Continue to May 22nd.
Is Wareham Cranberry LLC, is that 3020 Cranberry, that's over by the water
I
department?
request continuance. 3020, that's the Angelos, I believe. No,
We have a letter.
is that the dealership? Where's the letter?
What's 3020 Cranberry Highway, which one's that?
Attorney Bello. Attorney,
No, yeah, that's Jillian as well.
That's Jillian's as well?
She sent you a letter, it's
Oh, here's
attached
the
to your
letter.
agenda.
okay. Here.
I know they want a continuance, but I'm just trying to figure out what we're continuing. The numbers 3923 and 3020 aren't clicking in my head, I'm just trying to,
That must be that,
they probably got the same
that's
letter. I
the
do.
D'Angelo. That's D'Angelo.
Is this the
Yeah.
D'Angelo building?
It's the smoothie place.
The smoothie place, okay. Okay,
Okay, so they're requesting a
so
continuance.
so moved.
So I have a motion to continue till March 27. What's the deadline on that?
28th.
Okay, very good. I have a motion by Jim. Any discussion on the motion?
Wait a minute, the deadline's the 28th
Was that McGowan?
for us to make a
Yeah.
decision?
No, on Cranberry LLC.
Oh, I'm sorry, I was looking, still thought we were talking about McGowan, sorry.
3920,
Fifth,
what is it?
April 25th.
We get time.
We've got time, we don't need to extend, okay. So my motion stands, continue.
So continue, so motion to
327.
continue till 3:27. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second by Troy. All in favor, say aye. Veronica? Troy?
Aye.
Veronica?
Abstain.
Abstain. Jimmy?
Aye,
Richard?
Aye.
And myself, Nazir, aye. So it's 4-0-1. Veronica abstain to continue. Okay.
do you spell
54-23, 3090 Cranberry Highway, Ezequiel Lacerda. Special permit, site plan review for Ezequiel Lacerda, 3090. That must be the dealership. That's you. That's you, yeah. That's okay. All right, council, public hearing still open, just name
Yes,
and,
sir. My name is Robert Perry, and I represent the petitioner here.
okay.
I don't see Brad here. I was kind of hoping he would be here.
You want us to table it? You wanna table it?
Brad from J.C. Yelverton.
no, where are we?
Oh, he's on Zoom? Oh, okay, good, good.
He's here.
Because I just want to make sure I understand right what he told me.
Okay,
We skipped Lucero?
that's where we are, Lacerdo.
Okay.
Lacerda.
Okay, sorry.
Lacerda, yes, him.
All set?
Yes, Go
Yeah,
ahead.
what I understand on this is that, of course, we got a site plan review and a special permit.
Right.
I understand from Brad, if I understand correctly, that DigSafe came in to do their markings in order for Brad to do the trenches. I don't know how he did it, but somehow Brad determined that they fouled up.
They what?
They fouled up. They didn't get their markings correctly, and he was scared to death of digging up sewer lines and water lines.
Okay.
He stopped. I don't think they've come back yet to give the proper markings, so I don't have test pits out there yet.
Okay, okay,
I have opened the account.
all right.
Everything else is in order, other than, I shouldn't say a final plan, because I'm sure there'll be changes.
Right,
whatever
and
plans
he's,
they do,
and
but
Brad doing
I
plans.
don't have the plan I'd like you to send out to the town engineers.
Okay, but he's working on it, that's what matters.
Oh, he's hard at work. He better be working on it. He tells me he is, so.
All right, so you need a continuance.
I need a continuance, and I apologize to the board, but I will not, for personal reasons, be available until the 24th of April.
Okay, I won't be here.
Well, you wanna go?
You could
I
argue it.
don't mind going longer, I just don't.
Yeah, why don't we, if you, whatever you want, you want, you
Well,
do
I mean,
without
I could be
me.
available that first meeting in May. I just, the
You wanna
next
move it up
couple of
to
meetings,
May?
I can't
Sure.
be available for.
But we're gonna need to
No,
move the time for
see.
the board to make a
I'll give you a
decision.
letter, whatever you pick, I'll give you a
Okay.
letter, you know that.
You know what, let's leave it for April, I'll go on Zoom, because I think April and May, I won't be here, the first May.
Okay, well, then, yeah, do the April, if you're on Zoom, great, if not, I'm sure what's gonna happen in April, well, I don't know what's gonna happen.
Well, the plan's gonna come in and we're gonna refer it
We'll have
to,
it before then, I trust, it'll be out to
Right.
engineer, maybe we'll have our comments before then.
And I could always jump back in under the Mullen rule.
Great.
Okay, very
I
good.
appreciate that.
So,
April what?
24th?
24,
24th, I believe, is the meeting, that's what I
Yeah.
calculated out.
309030.
Make a motion to continue, application 5423 until April 24, 2024.
Okay, any discussion on the continuance?
Yes, I think I would second it with the stipulation that the extension would go to the following,
It's May 30.
I was
know.
thinking the end of May.
I
Yeah, I
know.
was thinking the end of May for extension.
yeah,
I have no
okay.
problem with that, Veronica.
Yeah,
Okay. All right, so we have a motion to continue till May 24, I mean, April 24 by Jim. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second by Rich, all in favor, say aye. Troy?
Aye.
Veronica?
aye.
Jim?
Aye.
Rich?
Aye.
And myself, Nazir, aye. So that's done until the 24th. I'm sorry, I'm just taking notes, I'm not ignoring you, council. All right, 4, continue public hearing 523, Josh D. Olim.
And that is me also. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Robert Perry for Mr. Olam, D. Olam, there we go.
Yeah.
And that's one similar to the one you just had with Jillian.
Correct.
Now, a little different, though. I spent quite a bit of time today myself on the phone with Attorney Bowen, discussing the case. He told me he only got this request yesterday, doesn't actually have a bottom line opinion yet, and couldn't be here tonight because he's got personal business, which certainly I understand. He did suggest that his opinion may be that in the long run I have to go to the planning board, but he hasn't decided yet. I haven't done a lot of research on that base. I think probably I'm in a position, whatever you guys tell me tonight is fine with me, okay?
I think he's adamant about what I talked to
I
him
wasn't adamant with
yesterday.
you, you said I think, but.
Nah,
okay.
he was adamant with me that section 16 prevailed, so it's totally up to you what you want to do.
Well, if you do the same thing you did with Julian's case, I don't have a problem with that.
All right, very well. So you'd like to also go to planning board?
I would like to, but I'm gonna do whatever you tell me to.
Wow, you're gonna have to if you want to continue this
I
matter.
mean, I don't, first of all, I don't agree with the Nantucket interpretation of the statute.
No, Nantucket,
I have-
let me say,
I've read-
the
I've used it,
Nantucket
I've read it,
case,
I'm familiar with it.
the Nantucket case is not it's not the procedure. It was about the evidence. The procedures was Paquin and Barnstable. That's the procedures. That's what
I'm gonna do
applies here,
whatever
absolutely.
you tell me to do.
Well, we're not gonna argue about
Oh,
it.
that's what I'm
It is
saying,
what-
Nazir, we're not. I'm gonna do whatever you tell me to do.
All right, so that being said, any discussion from the board? Troy? Veronica?
No, none.
Jimmy?
I'll make the motion if nobody else does to,
We'll get Richard's opinion
refer,
first.
yeah.
Richard,
Date you had for
I have no opinion.
Jillian's case is fine with me if it's fine with you.
Yeah, because
yeah, it's public. I'll get to the public. All right, on the public, anybody want to speak in favor or against? Counselor, want to come forward?
Hi there, Attorney Jillian Morton, representing Mr. Christopher Conti in this case.
Yes.
I have to disagree. This is not similar to what we have. This case has been voted on, denied, not abstained to, and I find a lot of issues with this. It's been around for quite a bit.
I totally agree, but the applicant has the right to rescind his vote if he has specific and material changes to the condition. He has the right to go to planning board. You probably can go argue to planning board, say that's not enough material changes,
Well, the
and
other
we'll
thing-
see what the planning board says.
If I may, the other thing I'd like to bring to the board's attention is that the property is up for sale. So we're creating a possible special permit on a situation that's gonna be sold to a different buyer. So,
When it sells, it goes with the land.
right, so
That's how
our whole
applica-
argument is about this client and what he's done, and now we're gonna get who knows what in there. So if
I totally agree with you.
I can pause and talk to planning board about all this, but
Listen, I totally agree
It's
with
been
you.
around for quite a
I'll
bit.
ask the board, you're absolutely right, we denied it, but also the applicant has the right. He believes he has changes, substantial changes, I keep calling it specific and material changes, and he has the right to go to planning board if he wishes. The planning board might see eye to eye, say for you, you know what, you don't have material changes, go home, and that's the end of it. He's willing to do the walk, the mile walk, let him do it.
I
We're
still
not
think
gonna
it's too
deny him
important.
his
There
right.
needs to be a memorandum from Attorney Bowen, like a written.
I agree with that.
I'm
agree with that.
finding, as a town resident, this could be a really big deal. And it shouldn't be on you guys to just hear it. There needs to be a
I
written
am very
determination.
comfortable to vote on this the way I did on the previous
It just
matter.
opens it up for appeal.
That's perfectly fine. I'm comfortable, I'm very, very comfortable. Sorry. So what's the wishes of, Troy, what do you think,
I'm agreeing. I think he should go to the planning board.
if he wishes? Veronica?
Wishes.
I mean, I think procedure would be to go to the planning board, but I think we also need an extension on the deadline on this case as well, for that to happen. But I
I guess you do, don't you? On Julian's case, I guess you do too. I guess both of us have to do that.
Jillian approved that, yep.
Oh, she did already, all right. Yeah, I'm prepared to. I mean, I have no
Well,
problem with that.
you know, for the other case.
Just for the heck of it, make no mistake, if the planning board approved the changes and come back to us, we can still deny it. We can still deny it. It doesn't mean deemed that we have to say yes, whether for the previous case or for the Mr.
No,
Pettis.
I understand that. It's just the procedure. I'm
I know,
I-
that's how we,
concerned about that.
I did all the research, my coworker, the board can have the opportunity to do it, they can read it after, I'll give it to them, but I believe I'm very comfortable with that.
So for clarification, Mr. Chairman, this is, we're going to vote on whether or not it goes to the planning board? Is that what the procedure is,
No,
or?
we'll vote, give him the opportunity, we don't make him, or we don't make the planning board hear him. This is the procedure, this is the state procedure, he wished to follow it, we recommend that he goes, but the planning board, they're gonna have to hear him by law if he applies.
So my question is, though, do we have to approve them going to the planning
No.
board?
No, it's
Okay.
just a recommendation. We don't have to, he could go on his own.
Are we recommending them, or are we giving them the opportunity?
We're giving them the opportunity. We're giving them the opportunity, not recommending. They don't need a recommendation.
So they could, in future, rather than coming here, this would not be the first stop. They would be
Right.
going to the planning board.
Exactly. But right now, we'll give them the opportunity, we'll do the extension, keep it open for a couple of months. We get an extension on the deadline, decision deadline, and hopefully have an answer by planning board, we come back and we hear them. If they say, yes, you can come back. Okay?
Just as a question, did Attorney Bowen say why it's the planning board? What's the public policy on that to bring it to a board who hasn't seen a project? And who hasn't vetted the project already?
Right.
See what I'm saying? It's a
Right.
special.
No, the planning board The planning board will look on the changes. If this has been, you show him what you applied and you show him what you're doing for changes. If your house was red, you painting it yellow, say, this is the changes we're doing. So the planning board might be satisfied with the yellow, and you say, you know what, that's a specific material changes, I wanna allow
But they
to
don't
go.
know the actual case.
No.
See what I'm saying? They didn't go through the
No,
whole site
that-
plan review on
You
it.
got educated.
I'm not, I will
No,
just-
they don't need to
well,
know
I'll
the whole
submit
case, they
something.
need to see it
don't-
changes of what you're applying.
But they don't
This
know the
is-
original case.
What, then you have to plead your case to them.
Okay.
You make a quick
I'll
plea for
put
them,
something
update
together.
them, and they're very smart people, they'll get it.
Okay.
Sorry. Okay.
So some just quick questions. I'm a little concerned, the fact that I've seen the for sale signs in the front of the house. Now I see the one in front of the property that we're debating over is not there anymore. Is he selling the house? Because I'm not gonna look to give,
Maybe he isn't, because I asked him today,
because if he's gonna sell it, then this is done with me. I'm not even voting for it. I'm done. I'm gonna say no. He's gotta come forward. We've asked a lot of this we've asked a lot for him to be truthful.
question. I talked to him about it 2 weeks ago, I mentioned it today, and he said he hadn't made a bottom line decision. The sign's down, maybe since I talked to him, he made a bottom line decision. I don't know.
It's not, it's listed on MLS.
I haven't talked to him
have the
since this
listing right
morning.
So the games, as a board member, I'm tired of the games that we're doing with one person, okay? We've asked. He hasn't
I got
done
you.
anything.
I appreciate that, I don't.
Okay, and then secondly, when we do vote to send it to council, I would really appreciate something in my email from the council when we send it, because I feel useless. You're the only one that talked to him. I don't understand why we all didn't get something from him.
What?
And from now on, if we send it to council, then as Ms. Morton was saying, there should be something in writing from him instead of conversations.
Let me
I
explain.
think the intent was to be, but as I say, I talked to Rich for a long time this afternoon, and he didn't get it until yesterday.
Yes, that's
Okay?
right. He got it late
Can't
from the
blame Rich, I think he
selectmen.
intended to do a
Nope.
written opinion.
I'm not blaming the
Didn't have a
council.
chance.
I just want to make sure before it comes to us that he's had a chance to look at it and he's given us something in writing.
And we should too, and I agree with you, I agree with you
Because,
100%.
I mean, a conversation from one member of the board doesn't help
I
us.
agree with you 100%.
Well, Mr. Perry's
Well,
right.
with that,
Can I say
ahead.
something?
Yep.
Mr. Perry's right. Yesterday, he found out, so he reached out for me quick. But to answer back to you with Mr. D'Olim, we could just ask the applicant to withdraw his application, or we could deny him again. And he could withdraw, and he could apply to the planning board. He could go on his own, apply to the planning board, we put it to rest. If he goes apply, and they say, yes, you could reopen it, come back to us. We don't have to do the same case like prior, keep it open. We don't have to if the board is not comfortable. And you could stop the board any minute, say, I want to make a motion to, ask the applicant if he would like to withdraw this application, or you could make a motion to deny. I recommend that the applicant withdraw the application, because if he denied, the clock start ticking again from today. So whatever the board wishes, speak out right now. If you would like it this way, to go this way, just let the applicant know.
Well, I want to be as fair as possible, but I also want to have some kind of proof online to me whenever we send somebody,
We'll make sure next time. the
because
council-
we shouldn't even talk about it, because it's kind of a waste of time. If you talked to him and I didn't, as a board, we have to vote. I think it's all due time, like, again, he didn't get it right until the other day. It's not his fault. But for us to talk about it, we need something in writing. Like, I didn't know, I've been waiting to see something, and like you said, he hustled, hurried, and got you some information. Well, the rest of us aren't brought up to speed until you just brought us up to speed.
Right. I went on my own and did all this research.
So,
He said Section 16 prevail. I printed Section 16, but all the cases I did myself. I've been doing it for the last 2 weeks.
just to be clear, I think, right, we could not necessarily vote to not extend because the process has to happen, right? We don't have a say on whether or not they go to the planning board if that's
No.
what it
Yeah,
says.
absolutely. That's
So-
their choice if to go or not to go, but we will ask Like I said, if you guys don't want to deal with this matter no more, ask the applicant to withdraw without prejudice this application. And if he wishes not to, you could always say, I want to make a motion to deny. So,
Yeah,
decision.
Well, again, I want to be fair enough, I want to let it run its course, even though that I think it's run its course a long time. But
So
if he wants to go and he wants to do it, then I guess that I'm fair.
On this,
I've been fair right along on this board, and I assume to still want to be fair.
Okay,
well, I was planning on denying it moving forward, because I feel like this applicant has been before us. There's been a lot of misrepresentation, I feel, in what was before us in terms of what was happening on the site and what was actually advertised for his business online and shown to us. And just ongoing issues, one way and the other. So I'm not prepared to move forward with this. This came before us before. We said no. I don't see a substantial change, as I said before, so.
so
My
make a
vote was
motion
no,
then.
anyway.
You could make a motion.
So I'll make the motion to deny.
Wait, we gotta make a motion to close first.
I,
Is
can
this-
I add a couple
Yes,
more
go
things
ahead, of
just
course you
before? Just a few more items, you know, looking at their application, the site plan review, there's not been any 53G account, no site plan
Correct.
There
review
is a
from your end.
53. No, I'm
So
sorry. This one there isn't. I'm thinking, listen.
There's
Let
the
the
wrong-
counselor finish.
There's
Let-
the wrong fire truck, and JC Engineer knows what the right fire truck is. You know, this is very starkly different than another case in front of you who has had to cease their operations to get a special permit.
Correct.
So I feel very strongly that this should be denied. It's not fair to the other people trying to operate and do the right thing in town.
Okay, anyone?
I'd just like to point out, the only reason it's not the account opened is because last time in, you suggested I wait.
Okay, anyone on the public want to have any input in this matter, whether for or against? I hear none.
Further
Wishes,
discussion.
go ahead.
So, I understand Veronica is ready to make a motion, but going back to Richard's point earlier, and I wanted to let everybody speak before, if indeed we referred this to town council for a response, and if indeed, as a board, we feel entitled to get that decision in a timely manner in writing, and town council has not had adequate time to give it proper thought, are we making a mistake moving forward tonight? And should we just continue until we've gotten a response from town council in writing?
This is.
I'm putting it out to the board.
Everybody has opinion. The
I'm putting it
previous
out to the
case has
board.
passed. The previous case passed. Now, case Mr. Perry, you want to apply to this to Mr. Perry?
I honestly, I see two practical things to be done. I either do the same thing with Julian's, or put this over until the next time that I'm here, which is, what, April 24th? And, for a written opinion from town council.
But for the board, this is your town, our town, not the council town. We make a decision whether we agree or disagree with council. So pick and choose. Opinions. You want to
I'm
close?
fine with waiting for town council, but my vote, regardless whether it goes to planning, comes back, is no.
What's the sense to
so-
wait? Make a motion. Okay, let's make a motion to close and make a motion to close, see if it closes.
I'll do that.
Go
I
ahead.
make a motion to close the public portion of this hearing.
Okay, I have a motion to close this public hearing by Jim. Do I have a second?
I'll second.
Second by Veronica. All in favor, say aye. Troy?
Aye.
Veronica?
Aye.
Jim?
Aye.
Rich?
Aye.
And myself, aye. Close. Any discussion? Hear none. Now wishes. Everybody speaks their wish.
I'd like to deny the application for reopening, although, actually, I'm not sure. I mean, I don't know if that's the right move.
You want to deny, what you want to do, you want to deny this application without prejudice. So this way, the clock doesn't tick from now, it goes from the previous application. We don't want to hurt the guy for a year.
Or two.
Right. So the
Yes.
clock is ticking from previous
Deny
application.
without prejudice.
Deny without prejudice. Now, make no mistake, if Veronica's motion doesn't carry, you could make your motion, say, I want to keep it open for discussion. And we have 45 days to render a decision. with the public hearing closed. We can still deliberate for 45 days, okay, if it doesn't pass. So if you have a motion to deny without prejudice, I can have a second on Veronica's motion. Do I have a second Veronica's motion?
I'll second.
Second by Troy. All in favor, say aye. Troy?
Aye.
Veronica?
Aye.
Jim?
Abstain.
Rich?
I want to make a motion to continue with the
No,
40.
you have to finish
Oh,
voting
sorry,
on
Ma-
her.
All right, abstain.
Abstain, and I'm gonna say aye, so it carries majority, so it's denied without prejudice.
Deny.
Without
And
prejudice.
it's 302, correct?
302. No, 302, they both abstain. 302. Okay, very well, thank you. Thank you, Councilor. Okay, we move forward to 5-24, Walid Al-Daya, and that's 2544 and 2546 Cranberry Highway.
Good evening again. This case, we're going to seek a continuance on. I just learned that the peer review has just been started, so we don't have any
Right.
peer review for you, so I think it's, silly for you to have to respond. So I'm not sure what your weeks are.
Is this next door to the water department?
Yeah.
This is, Mark's, yeah.
Sorry, I have to have my point of reference.
Okay.
Yeah, so I'm not sure.
I think Jim reached out to me, and it was only the two of us, so we can discuss too, and he was willing to entertain a motion to let them open just the sticker, because there's no repair with the sticker, so they don't lose it. That's a valuable tool.
So there is a current cease and desist for all operations. You guys could make that decision to overturn that part of
Just that
Mr.
part, without
Turner's
repair. Do you understand what I'm saying? That sticker, if he loses it, that business is dead, is useless. So we think it's only fair, Jim thinks, and I agree, it's only fair to just let him operate the sticker. There's no mechanic work with sticker. You say fail, pass, if he needs a ball joint, you gotta go to garage, fix it, and come back. We think it's only fair if we give him that, and because apparently he's doing the right thing, doing the site plan. So if that's okay with you,
I don't have a problem with that.
okay.
So-
Now, go ahead.
I'm sorry, weren't there three things before us for this, though? It was repair and selling. I thought it was the sales we were,
We don't know. We haven't gotten to that point
Okay,
until site plan
okay.
comes.
so right now, we're just,
Right now, we're just granting them permission to operate a state inspection station. No repair, no sales, nothing. Now, make no mistake, Counselor, we don't have jurisdiction of building code, so if the plumbing inspector insists on a floor drain,
Yeah, we already have
he-
plans for that.
he's
We're just
gonna
waiting
have
for
to
peer
do it.
review.
But for us, if it passes tonight, he's okay, he could get his, whatever you call it, business certificate, and the commissioner will give it to him if he agrees to, and so was everyone else, to
that
operate
use
just a
only.
Well,
sticker.
I'd like to hear from Mr. Turner, if he.
That me?
that's
We
all.
will. Paul, do you have a comment on that?
I have no comment tonight. I'm gonna have to think about it.
It's still gotta go back to him. We have no problem if he wishes to give it to him. Okay? How's that? That sounds right?
so how do we,
We'll vote on this matter that we will allow only a state inspection sticker if the building department in the whole agrees to it. Because he needs the plumbing, electrical, board of health, the commissioner. If they're okay with it, if it meets building code for zoning, we're okay with it. If they're okay with it, they could give it to him.
So there's currently a notice of violation? What is, is there a cease and desist? Cease and desist. And the cease and desist, does that exist under a notice of violation, or how do we, and what I'm trying to figure out is how do we make a motion that grants him, I guess we're overturning are we overturning a decision? Are we granting a partial permit? Are we granting a limited permit? What are we,
Yeah, partial.
a partial?
Partial.
A partial, is that the word, or limited?
Still approving for zoning, and then I'll take care of the building tomorrow.
Partial approval for
For
state.
zoning.
From the zoning part. Like I said, it doesn't relieve him
Build- if
from
there's
any other
issues with- if there's other-
jurisdiction.
If there's code violations, that's got nothing to do with zoning.
Right, and or
Is that
conservation,
where we
maybe
are?
conservation goes there, say, hey, you know what, you're dumping junk on a wetland,
You're
who knows?
within
That's separate,
6 inches of a wetland, and you have to be 8 inches,
maybe.
you know, okay.
All right,
Got it.
is the board good with that? Somebody like to make a motion? What, what's wrong?
So,
Whatever Jim's
so, I move that we, if the word is grant, authorize a partial permit relating to zoning for the use of the location for an inspection service,
State inspection service.
state inspection.
And the public hearing was still open, council, okay? We'll keep it open.
What date would you like for?
I mean, you guys wanna come back, when you think you'll have something with the plans with Mr. Madden?
Yeah.
Bill Cordero.
Phil, everybody else,
I
when
would-
you,
If you could, next hearing, I know Bill Madden can turn around, so,
where are we now? On the 27?
yep.
All right,
March 27?
yeah. Okay, so we have we have a motion by Jim to give a relief from zoning to open this Massachusetts State Inspection Sticker Bay. No sales, no repair, and it doesn't relieve him from any building department jurisdiction or any other boards in town, whether planning, or whoever comes up, conservation, like we said, any water health, everybody, they still have to have a say. If this says okay, and the commission says fine, we're okay with it.
Okay.
So that's Jim's motion. Do I have a second on that?
My motion includes a continuance until March 27th.
That's true. And continue it until March 27th. That's Jim's. Do I have a second on that?
Second?
Second by Troy. All in favor, say aye. Troy?
Aye.
Veronica?
Aye.
Jim?
Aye.
Richard?
Aye.
And myself, Nazir, aye. So that's 500. On the 27th, and good to go with the sticker.
Geez, it hasn't even been an hour yet, and we've already done all this business.
Don't jinx
Was we
us.
good?
Don't jinx us, Jim.
Was we good?
You're the guy in the truck on the way to Boston that goes, geez, there's no traffic today. And then you're sitting 3 hours.
All right, 6-24, special permit and variance 3 Toll Road. Yes, sir. Name and address for the record, please.
My name is Charles Morris. 13 Ledgewood Drive, Dover, Mass. I own 3 Tow Road in Wareham, Mass.
Yes.
So I was before you before, and it was an incomplete submission.
Right.
We have since supplied a application, the additional drawings for your review.
Okay, did you do a 53G account for site plan?
That we have not done that yet. I guess there's still a question in our mind. We're not doing any site work at all in this. All we're going to do is move in to the building. So we did do a parking space plan because there weren't enough or adequate number of parking spaces. But other than that, there'll be no blacktop, no work on the building. It'll be exactly like
Right,
we
no,
want.
we discussed this before. You change in the use, you need a site plan review. If the engineer says that parking is enough, you need to spice it up with landscaping, curbing, and it's enough, we say, okay, but the town engineer has to come back to us with this.
All right, so then we've given, I think, everything you need to do that. We just have to set up the account for the, I guess,
53G, and we'll hear from town engineer,
Okay,
all right?
we'll do that, yeah.
Okay, I think you're gonna need, it's not gonna happen before 27. You're gonna be till April 10. You're gonna need that time. So we'll continue your case until April 10,
Intent to give Phil time to review it?
and him to get the application, the 53G to,
Okay.
is that good, you think?
That means we still can't use the building for another month or more?
Correct. Correct.
I don't know you do what you wanna do.
Okay.
All
I
right.
don't know what else to do. We don't see where this is really a change in use, so I, you know.
Well, can I answer
Yeah.
that? Sir, when you first sat in front of us, I think you told me that you build schools.
Well, we renovate school.
So
So it's a general contracting business. We
it's a
do-
contracting business,
Yes,
correct?
Yeah.
So I speak very bluntly, and I don't mean offense, but I find it very absurd for somebody that's experienced in these matters to have no clue as to what's going on. If you've never pulled a permit, if a layman came in off the street and said, "This is overwhelming," I'd say, "Yeah, it is." But for somebody that's in the business not to understand,
We are usually
I feel like you're asking me to, I think you're being a little obtuse. I'm just telling you how I'm reading it.
Okay.
I'm being very blunt, I'm being very honest.
So let me
I
answer.
think
Sir,
you put-
sir,
I
let
think
him finish. I'll give you the floor.
My ex-dead, now deceased brother-in-law used to say, "None so dumb as those who pretend to be, or wish to be." So I think you're playing the I didn't know game, and you knew you needed site plan review because at the last meeting, we told you you needed it. You felt as though you didn't, so out of either pure stubbornness or pure, you think we're stupidness, you didn't set up a 53G account. We're not delaying you going in the building, you're delaying yourself. You're not listening, you're being told what you need to do, and you're not doing it. I'm not angry with you, I'm not mad at you, but I don't want you to be angry with us and say to us, "Oh, I can't use the building for another month." You caused that problem. I've had my say.
And I gotta add, these are not our rules. These are the bylaw of the town. We don't come up with these rules. We just follow them and implement them. Now you could speak. Go ahead.
All right, so to begin with, I do not, never have developed land for buildings of any sort. We work on interior renovations for jobs, and generally speaking, we're working under a general contractor like a Turner or like a Bright or one of these,
Well,
so,
that makes it more understandable for me, thank you.
right, so therefore, this part of it, I've never done before. When I built the building and we hired Outback, they looked at it, and I'm going by what they're telling me, including this afternoon, when I said, "This is what we've done so far, here's the drawings," he said, "I think that you have everything." I actually thought the drawing we gave you before included everything. The exact word is, I don't really know what more they want you to give them, or why there's a site review needed when you're not doing any site work at all. So I compiled everything that I thought I needed to get. I got it delivered to Sonia's office, and so I guess I still am puzzled because I'm being told from some people saying, we don't know why they're asking for a site plan review when you're not doing any site work at all. And
Let me interrupt you and ask you a question. If you went to the doctor and he said, "You need to take Pepto-Bismol or else is gonna kill you," and you went home and some non-doctor said to you, "I don't know why they're telling you to take Pepto-Bismol. An ulcer won't kill you," who are you gonna believe?
I'm going to believe the doctor.
There you
Very
go.
good. We're the doctor.
In
We
this
told
matter.
you you need a site plan review.
And
It's as simple as that. Somebody else told you you don't. You can choose to listen to them, or you can choose to listen to us, but in the meantime, the clock keeps ticking.
okay.
I'm not trying to be
But just to
rude.
make sure I've been clear, Outback said the drawings that he did already, he felt, and today still says, "I think you have everything covered."
Maybe we do, but we don't have a 53G account allowing our town engineer to review those plans. We haven't reviewed the plans because there's no money to pay the guy to review them.
Okay.
Can I ask a
You're
question?
holding it up.
The applicant?
Go ahead.
So did you see the long application that's on the town website of what the site plan review requires? There are many, many questions that have to be filled out.
We
So
answered them all.
those are all answered?
Yes.
Okay.
But it's including those, 53G account.
Okay.
You understand? Let me make it a little easier for you explaining to you. Say you wanted to open outdoor movie theater, you think the site adequate for that project? Let's not construction. Say I go rent this place.
This site here? No.
Okay, so what's, in whose eyes is it, construction company or outside theater? It's changing the use. So we can't tell a theater, outside movie theater, you need a site plan, and a construction company, you don't. You changing the use. If you are to open a company like was there, tow truck, you could open tomorrow. We don't want nothing from you. You changing the use, so you have to comply. There's certain rules and regulation. It might, the town engineer might say, you know what, Mr., I forget,
Forgot you.
Morse.
Mr. Morris, you only need 2 parking spaces. You don't need all the rest. There you go. So we don't know until he's the professional, and we rely on him.
So so opening up the 53G
Account.
is with zoning.
And you tell, you let your engineer know, he has to follow the list. That's the only way it's gonna work, so with everybody. We can't make an exception. It doesn't work, period, exception or not. All right?
Okay.
So why don't we continue your matter till April 10? All right. Before, I'm sorry, in the public, anyone in for or against this matter? I hear none. Public, I mean, the... Go ahead.
I think Jim's got his hand up. He might be talking, but he might be muted.
He's not muted currently, he just muted.
We can't hear anything, Jim.
He is unmuted, he might not have
Hello?
his mic.
There he goes.
Yeah, this is Jim Manise, Cranberry Highway.
Yep.
I'm just wondering, how much would you expect the individual, the proponent, to put into the 53G account in order to move this forward?
Yes, what's the request?
So typically, Phil Cordero, our town consultant engineer, will give me a cost estimate once I reach out to him.
You get that, Mr. Manise?
Yes, thank you, and I want to say that the proponent, who I don't know from a hole in the wall, has done a heck of a job cleaning the place up. And if you can just help him move through the process, I think it would be a benefit to the town. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, so there we are.
Is there any temporary thing that we can do to get this gentleman up and running until,
Let the commissioner speak. Mr. Turner?
There's a proposed floor plan that Mr. Morris told me will mirror what the inside will look like when he presents his building plans for the permit application. So if you could give him relief from the zoning issues that he has on the use on the inside. So he needs relief from the warehouse use. It's over 40% of the entire area of the whole building. And I think at that point, and he's going through the process with the site plan, he could apply for the building permit. This plan, if you approve this plan, will marry, which I've been told by Mr. Morris, the building application. So he could use the inside of the building.
Okay, we could give a temporary CO.
Correct.
All right. So he needs a variance because his space as a contractor exceeds the 40%. He needs a variance for that because he's like 60. So if the board wishes to give the variance, we'll discuss it, grant the variance, and we'll keep the hearing open, and we'll let the commissioner know that he could give a temporary CO until the site plan is done. And this way, he could get to use the office and the warehouse while he's doing the work. Is that fair enough?
I think that's fair.
So we're going to grant a temporary CO. Is it going to have a drop dead date?
Commissioner
or-
gives a temporary CO, we don't.
It gets a drop dead date? I guess
I
the
will take
concern
care of
is,
that.
the concern is the site plan review, and you get some way to hold his feet to the fire.
Absolutely.
I'm good with that. I want to encourage businesses to come, and whoever it was online said, the site is being used, in my opinion, more favorably than prior. So I'm real happy to hear all
Okay,
this.
so what
May
we
I
do...
speak?
Go ahead.
Sorry.
That's okay.
There's a letter that Mr. Morris attached dated to me, addressed to me dated March 11th, 24, so I would like the variance to reflect what is said in that letter, if that's okay with
Okay,
the
what date
applicant.
was that letter there drafted? What's the date on that letter,
March 11th.
The
Commissioner?
11th. Is it in the
March
packet?
11?
It's in everyone's
Everyone has a
package.
packet.
Has
It's in the
copy.
packet.
March 11, right?
Yes.
Okay, and what's the plan, the architecture plan dated? Please, Commissioner?
12/8/2023.
222. Okay, so this is what we're gonna do. We're gonna grant, if the board wishes, a relief on the variance and the operation of the building. Site plan review will still be open. And the CO, temporary CO, it's up to the commissioner how long you have to, it's up to him. He give you a month, a year, I don't know. But when this is up and you don't have your site plan, he will shut you down. Is that fair enough? That's how it works, I'm sorry. Okay? Was that good, everybody?
I'm pleased with that and therefore so moved.
Okay, so a motion.
Second.
All right, so we have a motion by Jim to grant the variance and the office for operation and keep the site plan, it works, and a temporary CO, at the commissioner, at his discretion, we give the date, and for you to finish the site plan. I hope Patty's getting all that. And
And a 53G account.
that's site plan review, that's, he do it right or he
No
don't?
53G, no site plan review.
That's right.
And my motion includes a continuance until April 10th.
Okay, very good. So do I have a second on that?
Second.
Second by Rich, all in favor, say aye. Troy?
Aye.
Veronica?
Aye.
Jim?
Aye.
Rich?
Aye.
And myself, aye. So you could use the building, keep doing your site plan review. Commissioner, you have to deal with him on the CO, how long he'll give it to you.
And why are we getting together on the
You
10th?
let me know how much,
Huh?
so I'll have that delivered tomorrow.
So what's the 10th? Because we just made a vote on that.
We
and-
continue on the site plan for the 10th.
We'll continue-
You're gonna
But
have it
it's
done
gonna
that
take a
fast?
lot longer than this, but we gotta keep that
Gotcha.
process going.
We can continue again if we have to, but
Right.
we're keeping the hearing's kept open.
Mr. Chairman,
Yes, sir.
I want to make it clear to the applicant that what they're approving tonight is for the zoning. He must apply for building permit, and there's other process. You're not moving in tomorrow?
No.
Okay. Call
Yeah,
me at
yeah.
8 o'clock tomorrow, and we can discuss.
Okay,
Thank you.
thanks.
Okay, very well.
This was, yeah, okay.
I want to just amend that motion again. It's based on the letter submitted by the applicant dated 3/11/24 and based on the architecture plan dated 12/8, December 8, 2023. Patty, if you could add this in the decision. Thank you. All right, that's done. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Robert,
8 a.m., call me, please.
Thank you.
we're going to start public hearing, 7-24, Robert and Janine Perry, on a special permit or a variance for 4 Wareham Lakeshore Drive.
My name's Robert Perry, but I
Just
believe
sit-
the meeting is postponed.
Yeah, well, just give us a minute.
Yep.
Just a little process, because you're new hearing, this quick process we have to go through.
We have to open the meeting before you can talk.
All righty.
And before we can open the meeting, we have to read it into the record. The Zoning Board of Appeals will hold a public hearing on March 13th, 2024, at 6:30 PM in Room 320 of the Wareham Multi-Service Center, 48 Marion Road, Wareham, Mass. 02571, to consider petition number 7-24 for a special permit or a variance from the requirements of Article 13, Section 1352, and Section 1353 under the Wareham zoning bylaws to Robert and Janine Perry of 4 Wareham Lake Shores Drive, East Wareham, Mass., proposing to remove existing 7-foot by 9-foot block and brick front entry stairs, then rebuilding and enclosing on existing footprint at the subject property located at 4 Wareham Lake Shores Drive, Wareham, Mass. This all appears on a Wareham Assessors Map 120, Lot 35, in the R130 zoning district.
Okay, before we distribute this, there was an issue with the mailing for the abutters on this matter. So, I believe they mailed them.
It has, and the
It has
certified
been mailed,
mailing.
so we're not gonna hear this matter. We will open and continue until the abutters gets the notice. Okay, is that good, Rich? You okay with that? Anyone in the public here for this matter? Okay, so that being said, we don't wanna discuss it because it's mute. Any discussion is useless. So let's continue this
So,
matter.
so we need to continue until,
27.
so moved.
The motion to continue 7/24, Mr. and Mrs. Perry, till the 27th. Do I have a second on that?
Second?
Second by Troy. All in favor, say aye. Troy?
Aye.
Veronica?
Aye.
Jim?
Aye.
Rich?
Aye.
And myself, Nazir, aye. We'll see you on 27, and hopefully... Thank you very much.
27th?
Yeah. Okay, we have 824 Mallory Deacus on Tower Terrace, but we're gonna take off order. We're gonna go to 924 first, Angelique Deacus. We'll take this matter first.
Okay. A skinny one. The zoning board of appeals will hold a public hearing on March 13th, 2024 at 6:30 PM in room 320 of the Wareham Multi-Service Center, 48 Marion Road, Wareham, Mass. 02571, to consider petition number 9-24 for an appeal of the building inspector notice of violation regarding the merger of lots per the requirements of Mass General Law, Chapter 40A, subsection 15, under the Wareham zoning bylaws, to Angelique Deacus, care of Jillian Morton, Esquire, of 184 Main Street, Wareham, Mass., for the property located at 5 Tower Terrace, Wareham, Mass. This also appears on Assessors Map, Wareham Assessors Map 61, Lot LC10 in the MR30 zoning district.
Okay, name and address, Counselor.
Attorney Jillian Morton, 184 Main Street,
Oh,
representing the Deacus family.
Okay.
So
One for Richard, too.
thank you for reading that in. So what we have here today is an appeal from the notice of violation. And there are sister cases, of course, the next one, but they really go hand in hand. So what you're kind of voting on this one would tie into the other one. So we're asking for, here, there's a violation because there was merger and what they said was there's infectious invalidity as well. So this has come before your board before, on a case that I was on as well. So this case is between grandparents and then Miss Mallory Deacus, who is the granddaughter. And she's looking to construct a single-family on a conforming lot, or what they thought was a conforming lot. But what happened is that there was a piece that was taken from Angelique's section that was already non-conforming and small and added to make it conforming. So, the commissioner had to write a letter in regards to the violation for merger. I believe that this is not like other cases that you've seen for infectious invalidity, that there were two non-conforming lots, and now we've created a conforming lot. And it would render Aniki's lot still non-conforming. So his opinion is that it's intensifying the non-conformity, just making it a little bit smaller. But we're talking about not a lot of land. This house has been here for I don't know how many years, since my parents have been there. And we're looking to make a complying, a lot that's 28 square feet, ample frontage, one of the only 3 lots in this neighborhood, which would be conforming. So we really think it's a good thing for the town. It's just procedurally how to be able to work through these zoning issues.
Okay.
Yep.
I'm very familiar with this matter, if I allow myself to speak on it. Mr. Deacus, God rest his soul, who passed away a couple of years in Corona, he bought LC10 back in the 60s or 70s. And he has 2 kids, Dean and Lisa, and he bought LC 11 and LC 17. Time came past, he wasn't very, like, knowledgeable with real estate, he didn't check about them. And they were able to build LC 11 for his son Dean, local policeman, and his house located on LC 10. LC 17, it just fell through the crack and was stayed right there. They never checkerboarded them. Now Mallory, the granddaughter, wants to build a house. She did all the work, and she did ask me, and I told her she need 30,000 square feet, and it took her 3 years to go out. She bought 1171 from the water department. She bought a piece LC 15A and LC 15B from the neighbor together so she can gather 30,000 square feet, which she did. And unfortunately, she came back to the commissioner, and the commissioner's right, she can't use LC 17. I think it's only fair we grant relief for Angeliki Deacus, which is the grandfather house, LC 10, let it be on its own lot as a stand, and let her take LC 17, then she's complying, right? She'll be in
Yeah,
compliance.
that's what we're seeking.
So
And she has
instead of
sewer
granting two
connection.
variances,
Yeah.
we grant, if the board wishes, we'll discuss this matter, we'll grant that the house sitting on LC 10, stays by itself. It becomes a legal house by itself, which is legal right now, but it will be legal with one lot at 13,000 square feet, as it was created back in the 60s, and the rest will drop the case, she'll drop the case, correct?
Yes, and that's actually the commissioner did a great job of doing potential remedies.
Right.
And so, he said appeal to the zoning board, and take action on this one, and then we wouldn't have to
Correct.
do the next
Right.
case, so.
So,
That being said, go ahead.
so I'm listening and I'm drawing, I got my crayons out. So LC 10 has a house on it.
Right,
What's going on with LC 11?
there's a house on it,
A separate house.
separate house,
It's owned separately.
separately.
So they're separate lots, that one's got nothing to do with the other?
Right.
Okay. So LC 10 is a house all by itself, but it also owns 17.
Correct.
So therefore, without anybody doing anything, because there's a common point, they became one.
Correct.
And what you're proposing is that we allow them to be divorced,
Correct.
separated, partition, I would have,
If you want to call it this way, yeah.
Yeah.
We divorce them. We're a family
going-
court now.
Yeah,
Go in their separate ways.
all in the family.
Yeah, but the ownership is, LC 10 is going to stand alone, and LC 17, which is not built on,
Right. And I think she has title for L17, right?
Yeah,
Correct?
so she had to go
She
through
has it in her
extensive
name
land
already.
court. She has sewer connection as
Right.
well. This is the one piece, and like I said, it's gonna be one of 3 lots in that neighborhood, which you're familiar with, that's actually compliant for MR 30, so it's tricky right there.
and I'm looking at the neighborhood, and I see so far what you're saying. I got a question. What's the case on LC 33 and LC 16? Who owns them?
33.
Two little triangles in here.
Show me that, Jimmy.
Is that the water department?
Here, I'll make them blue, so you,
33? Where do you get LC 33?
this
LC
one,
30 and LC 16, right?
this one, and this one, here and here.
The two little triangle shapes.
Those two little
Oh, she bought that. She
Yeah.
bought that from the water department.
She bought, that's water department, she owns.
That's the old water tower.
So she's now creating, I need another color. Oh, I'll use the blue. So she's now creating one lot out of 17, 33, 71, 16, 15, and 15A.
Yeah.
And 33.
And it went through the A&R process,
What's
obviously.
this 30? Oh,
The
okay,
LC
yeah, okay.
33.
Yeah.
Okay, so I just want to draw this so I understand it, because I'm a picture guy, not a word guy, even though I use a lot of words.
You know that.
You know that. He's like to shut me down. So this is the lot we're allowing to be created.
Yes.
I'm
Well, Jimmy doing his thing. Troy, what do you think?
I don't have a problem with it.
Veronica?
I'm fine with it.
Well,
I'm fine.
still thinking Jimmy.
No, I'm very fine with it now. I just needed to understand it.
Okay, anyone in the public want to speak in favor of this matter? Anyone against? Favor? You want to speak in favor? Against? None? That's always good, no against.
We're getting a divorce, you know, this is when you speak now or forever hold your peace. Oh, no, that's during marriage, I'm sorry. Got it wrong. Same couple, different.
All right, that
event.
being said, Commissioner, you want to add anything on that? No.
Make a motion to close the public portion of this hearing.
I have a motion to close by Jim. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second by Rich. All in favor, say aye. Troy?
Aye.
Veronica?
Aye.
Jim?
Aye.
Rich?
Aye.
Myself, Nazir, aye. Closed. Wishes.
I make a motion to separate LC 10 from LC 17 and allow LC 10 to stand as a separately owned and separately deeded lot, and allow lot LC 17.
No, we don't have to. We just grant the variance for LC 10. That's it.
That's it? That's all they need?
That's all we need.
I'll stop talking. A motion to grant a variance for LC 10 as requested.
As it stands by itself, correct, Counselor?
Pre-existing non-conforming lot.
Correct.
Yeah.
All right. So any discussion on this motion? I hear none. Okay. Motion by Jim. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second by Rich. All in favor, say aye. Troy?
Aye.
Veronica?
Aye.
Jim?
Aye.
Rich?
Aye.
And myself, aye. So now we have a variance on LC 10. This matter is closed. We're gonna move to 824 Mallory Deacus, 11 Tower Terrace on a variance. Counselor,
So I'd
we're gonna read it for the record quick.
You want to put those ones into this folder?
Yeah.
Get those papers back, and I'll pull the other one out. Thank you, thank you. This just came in, look how quick that, easy that was.
You guys are cranking through cases.
Yeah, look, yeah, and they've probably only been working on it for a couple of days, right?
Yeah, right.
Right?
Try 4 years.
How easy it is to make lots in Wareham?
4 years they worked on that.
4 years? What do you mean?
Wow.
I just saw them for 4 minutes. Are we on,
How come I can't get the project from the zoning board?
824?
Today.
Is that what is in front of us?
Yeah.
824, okay, just want to be sure I'm reading the right one. Zoning Board of Appeals will hold a public hearing on March 13, 2024 at 6:30 PM in room 320 of the Wareham Multi-Service Center, 48 Marion Road, Wareham, Mass. 02571, to consider petition number 8-24 for a variance to Mallory Deacus, care of Attorney Jillian Martin of 184 Main Street, Wareham, Mass., proposing to build a 3-bedroom, single-family dwelling which requires seeking relief from building commissioner's denial based on merger of lots at the property located at 11 Tower Terrace, Wareham, Mass. This all appears on Assessors Map 61, Lot LC 17, in the MR 30 district.
Counselor, your name and address for record?
Jillian Morton, 184 Main Street.
Okay.
Do we need to see these? Is this really the same matter?
She's gonna withdraw.
Yeah, so I'm just gonna withdraw.
Okay, we have,
these.
Motion to
I'll
withdraw?
prepare that and give that to you.
all right, anyone in the audience want to speak in favor or against this withdrawal?
Motion to withdraw.
Hear none. We close on withdrawal.
Motion to close the public portion of this hearing?
Do I have a second?
Second?
Second by Troy. All in favor, say aye. Troy?
Aye.
Veronica? Jim?
Aye.
Rich? Aye. Myself, Nazir, aye. Closed.
Motion to accept the request for withdrawal without prejudice.
Okay, yeah. Do I have a motion? Second on that motion?
Second?
Second by Troy. Troy, second. All in favor, say aye. Troy?
Aye.
Veronica?
Aye.
Rich? Aye. Jim?
Aye.
And myself, aye. Carries. Thank you very
Thank
much.
you.
And that would be in perpetuity now, so you don't,
Great.
correct? Very good.
In purgatory?
Perpetuity.
Oh,
So
perpetuity.
you don't need to do a variance again. All right, you guys want a motion to adjourn? Sure. Or you want to sit?
No, we want to have some, we want to have, we'll discuss one thing.
Yes.
I do want to discuss one thing. Veronica made a point.
Have a good night.
Good night, thank you, folks. Veronica made a point at the last meeting tonight's meeting kind of, for me, embellished Veronica's point. I think if we're gonna refer something to the select board to request town council, I think when we're on that article, we should make that motion then, instead of waiting till the end and making it, so that the people know when they walk out of the room. That's all.
Okay.
I know you said let's put them all at the end, but I think that
I think it's good housekeeping if we do it at that time.
right then and there, so that,
right.
yeah. And, I mean, it's a little awkward from the motioning
I know.
point of view. I understand your reason, but that's all. And
Yeah,
then,
for some reason, he didn't get it, the attorney, until yesterday.
well, that's what, so,
If I can just add to that, the reason I reached out to Bowen yesterday, and we spoke about it. Unfortunately, with Ken leaving, typically Ken would reach out to Bowen, and following up on the files yesterday, I saw that it wasn't done. Because Ken was supposed to CC myself and Josh, and when I was following up, like I said, it hadn't been done, so I reached out to Bowen. So I apologize for that being done last minute. So he reached out to the chairman, and the purpose of reaching out to Bowen is to respect his time, so he's not bombarded by all 5 members. So this way, when he's reaching out, it's just, to one person.
Yeah.
But agree where there should be a memo where everybody's involved.
That's what I was going to say. I think if we're voting as a board to ask for town council, we as a board should also all receive the response from town council formally.
Right. But he didn't have to put it together, he just,
Yeah.
would just,
Guess Ken's gonna come back out of retirement then.
He did apologize, he did apologize for the short notice, but he was very busy. He did say he was actually going to reach out to the chairman today, so it was surprising it was done yesterday,
Yeah.
so I apologize.
he did
was
it
done
very late,
yesterday.
last night, like 9:00 PM.
So I'm sorry, that was on me that I followed up yesterday.
Accept their apologies.
Not, denied.
We can have a motion on that.
Can we get
Motion
a
to
adjourn? Okay, we have motion adjourned by Jim, second by Rich, all in favor, say aye. Troy, Veronica?
Aye.
Jim? Aye. Rich? Aye. Myself, aye, thank you.